Welcome to episode 52 of the Peak Performance Podcast by Brad Young. In today's episode, we explore the fascinating world of nootropics, supplements designed to enhance cognitive function. We'll examine the scientific evidence behind various nootropic compounds, categorize the different types available, evaluate their effectiveness based on clinical studies, and provide practical guidance on implementing them into your daily routine for optimal mental performance. Whether you're a student, professional, athlete, or simply someone looking to sharpen your mental edge, this comprehensive guide will help you navigate the complex landscape of cognitive enhancement supplements. Understanding nootropics, definition and history. Nootropics, often called smart drugs or cognitive enhancers, are substances that may improve cognitive function, particularly executive functions, memory, creativity, or motivation in healthy individuals. The term was coined in 1972 by Romanian psychologist and chemist Dr. Corneliu Georgia, who established specific criteria for what constitutes a true nootropic. Dr. Georgia's criteria for nootropics: enhance learning and memory, protect the brain from physical or chemical injury, enhance the efficacy of cortical/subcortical control mechanisms, possess few side effects and extremely low toxicity, lack the usual pharmacology of other psychotropic drugs. Historical development. The first synthetic nootropic, pyricetam, was developed by Dr. Georgia in the 1960s. Since then, research into cognitive enhancement has expanded dramatically, with both synthetic compounds and natural substances being studied for their potential benefits. The field has evolved from primarily pharmaceutical research to include nutritional supplements, herbal compounds, and even lifestyle factors that can enhance cognitive function. Today's nootropic market spans from prescription medications to over-the-counter supplements and natural remedies. The growing interest in cognitive enhancement has been fueled by competitive academic and professional environments, as well as an aging population concerned with cognitive decline. However, it's important to distinguish between evidence-based nootropics and those marketed with exaggerated or unsubstantiated claims. And as we explore the various categories of nootropics in this episode, we'll focus on compounds that have demonstrated measurable cognitive benefits in scientific studies, while acknowledging the limitations of current research and the need for more comprehensive clinical trials in many areas. The science behind cognitive enhancement. To understand how nootropics work, we must first examine the neurobiological mechanisms that underpin cognitive function. The brain's complex network of neurons communicates through neurotransmitters, with cognitive processes depending on the efficient functioning of these chemical messengers. Key mechanisms of nootropic action: modulation of neurotransmitter systems, acetylcholine, dopamine, serotonin, glutamate, enhancement of cerebral blood flow and oxygen utilization, neuroprotection against oxidative stress and inflammation, promotion of neuroplasticity and neurogenesis, optimization of cellular energy metabolism in neurons, regulation of stress response systems. Nootropics typically target one or more of these pathways to enhance cognitive function, with different compounds affecting different aspects of brain physiology. Research in neuroscience has revealed that cognitive enhancement isn't simply about increasing overall brain activity, but rather optimizing specific neural circuits and processes. For instance, working memory depends heavily on prefrontal cortex function and dopaminergic signaling, while long-term memory formation involves the hippocampus and cholinergic systems. Modern neuroimaging techniques such as functional MRI and electroencephalography have allowed researchers to observe the effects of various nootropics on brain activity patterns. These studies have demonstrated that effective cognitive enhancers often normalize or optimize neural activity rather than simply increasing it. The concept of neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections, is particularly relevant to nootropic research. Compounds that promote neuroplasticity may enhance learning and memory by facilitating the formation and strengthening of synaptic connections. This represents a more sustainable approach to cognitive enhancement compared to temporary stimulation. As we examine specific nootropic compounds in subsequent sections, we'll highlight the particular mechanisms through which they exert their cognitive effects, recognizing that the most effective approaches often target multiple complementary pathways. Natural nootropics, herbs, and plant based compounds. Natural nootropics derived from plants have been used in traditional medicine systems for centuries before modern scientific validation. These compounds often contain bioactive substances that can influence cognitive function through various mechanisms. Ginkgo biloba. One of the most extensively studied herbal nootropics, ginkgo improves cerebral blood flow and acts as an antioxidant. A meta analysis published in Psychopharmacology 2012 found modest improvements in memory and cognitive speed in healthy adults. Typical effective dosage 120 to 240 milligrams daily, standardized to contain 24% flavone glycosides and 6% terpene lactones. Bacopa monnieri, the traditional Ayurvedic herb that enhances memory formation. A randomized controlled trial in the Journal of Alternative and Complementary Medicine 2010 demonstrated significant improvements in information processing and memory consolidation after 12 weeks. Recommended dosage 300 to 450 milligrams daily of extract, standardized to 50% bacosides. Panax ginseng. Research in the Journal of Psychopharmacology 2005 showed improved performance on mental arithmetic tasks and reduced mental fatigue. Contains ginsenosides that modulate neurotransmitter systems and provide neuroprotection. Effective dosage 200 to 400 milligrams daily of extract, standardized to contain 4 to 7% ginsenosides. Other notable plant-based nootropics include lion's mane mushroom, Hericium erinaceus, which promotes nerve growth factor production and has shown promise for cognitive health in preliminary studies. Rhodiola rosea, an adaptogenic herb that can reduce mental fatigue under stressful conditions, and huperzine A, derived from Chinese club moss, which acts as an acetylcholinesterase inhibitor, similar to some prescription medications for Alzheimer's disease. The advantage of natural nootropics often lies in their relatively favorable safety profiles and multiple mechanisms of action. Many contain complex mixtures of compounds that work synergistically, potentially offering more balanced effects than isolated synthetic molecules. However, standardization can be challenging, and the potency of natural products may vary between manufacturers. When selecting natural nootropics, look for products standardized to specific active compounds, as these have been used in clinical studies. Also consider that many natural nootropics have longer onset times, often requiring several weeks of consistent use before benefits become apparent, unlike some synthetic options that may produce more immediate effects. Racetams and synthetic nootropics. Synthetic nootropics represent some of the most potent cognitive enhancers available, with racetams being the first and most well-known family of these compounds. Beginning with pyracetam, developed in the 1960s, this class has expanded to include numerous derivatives with varying potencies and mechanisms. Pyracetam, the original nootropic compound, enhances membrane fluidity and cholinergic transmission. A meta-analysis in Psychopharmacology 2010 found significant benefits for cognitive performance, particularly in older adults with cognitive impairment. Standard dosage 1,200 to 4,800 milligrams daily, divided into 2 to 3 doses. Aniracetam, more potent than pyracetam with additional anxiolytic properties. Modulates glutamate receptors and may enhance creative thinking. Human studies are limited, but research suggests improved memory and cognitive processing. Typical dosage 750 to 1,500 milligrams daily, divided into 2 to 3 doses. Phenylpyracetam, significantly more potent than pyracetam with additional psychostimulatory effects. Studies in the journal Neuroscience and Behavioral Physiology demonstrated improved cognitive function under conditions of stress, used by Russian cosmonauts for cognitive enhancement during space missions. Typical dosage 100 to 200 milligrams 2 to 3 times daily. Beyond racetams, other notable synthetic nootropics include Nupep, which is structurally different but functionally similar to racetams with significantly higher potency. Salbutamine, a synthetic derivative of thiamine, vitamin B1, that crosses the blood brain barrier more effectively than natural thiamine. And adrafinil, a prodrug that converts to modafinil in the body and promotes wakefulness and alertness. The research landscape for synthetic nootropics varies considerably. Pyracetam has decades of clinical studies supporting its safety and modest efficacy, while newer compounds often have less robust human research. Many synthetic nootropics were originally developed for treating cognitive disorders, but have found off label use among healthy individuals seeking cognitive enhancement. The development of synthetic nootropics represents one of the most direct attempts to enhance human cognitive capabilities through pharmacological means, raising important questions about the balance between efficacy, safety, and appropriate use in healthy populations. Journal of Neural Enhancement, 2018. It's worth noting that many synthetic nootropics exist in regulatory gray areas in various countries. While some are prescribed medications in certain nations, they may be unregulated or classified differently elsewhere. This inconsistent regulatory status has led to challenges in conducting large scale clinical trials and establishing standardized dosing protocols for cognitive enhancement in healthy individuals. Choline supplements and cholinergic enhancers. The cholinergic system, centered around the neurotransmitter acetylcholine, plays a crucial role in memory formation, attention, and overall cognitive function. Choline supplements and cholinergic enhancers represent an important category of nootropics that support and optimize this system. Alpha GPC, alpha glycerophosphocylline, a highly bioavailable choline source that readily crosses the blood brain barrier. Clinical studies published in Clinical Therapeutics, 2003, demonstrated significant improvements in cognitive function in patients with mild to moderate Alzheimer's disease. In healthy individuals, it may enhance power output during exercise while supporting cognitive function. Effective dosage, 300 to 600 milligrams 1 to 3 times daily. CDP choline, citicoline, provides both choline and cytidine, which converts to uridine in the body. This dual action supports both acetylcholine synthesis and phospholipid membrane formation. Research in Food and Nutrition Sciences, 2012, showed improvements in attention and memory in healthy adults. Typical dosage, 250 to 500 milligrams, twice daily. Centrophenoxin, a cholinergic compound that also functions as an antioxidant. Studies suggest it may help remove cellular waste products, lipofuscin, from the brain while supporting acetylcholine production. Limited but promising human research shows potential benefits for memory. Typical dosage, 250 to 1,000 milligrams daily. The importance of choline supplementation becomes particularly relevant when using racetams or other nootropics that increase acetylcholine utilization. Without adequate choline, these compounds may cause headaches or reduced efficacy due to acetylcholine depletion. This has led to the common practice of stacking choline sources with racetams for optimal results. Dietary sources of choline include eggs, liver, and certain vegetables, but many people don't consume adequate amounts through diet alone. The Institute of Medicine has established an adequate intake, AI, level for choline at 550 milligrams daily for men and 425 milligrams for women, though optimal levels for cognitive enhancement may be higher. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition has demonstrated that even subclinical choline deficiency can impair cognitive performance, highlighting the importance of adequate choline intake for baseline cognitive function, let alone enhancement. This makes choline supplements potentially beneficial even for individuals not using other nootropics. When selecting a choline supplement, bioavailability is a key consideration. Alpha GPC and CDP choline are generally considered superior to choline bitartrate due to their enhanced ability to cross the blood-brain barrier and directly support brain acetylcholine levels. Amino acids and peptide nootropics. Amino acids serve as building blocks for proteins and neurotransmitters in the brain, making certain amino acids and peptides, short chains of amino acids, valuable nootropic compounds. These substances can support various aspects of cognitive function by enhancing neurotransmitter synthesis, promoting neuroplasticity, or providing neuroprotection. Key amino acid and peptide nootropics. L-theanine promotes alpha brain waves, synergistic with caffeine. Dosage 100 to 200 milligrams. L-tyrosine, precursor to dopamine and norepinephrine. Dosage 500 to 2,000 milligrams. Acetyl L-carnitine supports mitochondrial function and acetylcholine synthesis. Dosage 500 to 1,500 milligrams. Cmax, neuropeptide that enhances BDNF expression. Dosage 300 microgramo. N-acetylcysteine, precursor to glutathione, regulates glutamate. Dosage 600 to 1,800 milligrams. L-theanine, found naturally in green tea, has been extensively studied for its ability to promote relaxed alertness without sedation. Research in the Asia Pacific Journal of Clinical Nutrition, 2008, demonstrated that the combination of L-theanine with caffeine significantly improved both attention and accuracy during cognitive tasks compared to caffeine alone. L-tyrosine shows particular promise for cognitive enhancement under stressful conditions. A study in the Journal of Psychiatry and Neuroscience found that tyrosine supplementation prevented the normal decline in cognitive performance associated with psychological stress and sleep deprivation, making it potentially valuable for high-pressure situations. Acetyl L-carnitine, ALCAR, crosses the blood-brain barrier effectively and supports mitochondrial energy production in neurons. Clinical trials published in Neuropsychobiology have shown improvements in mental energy and attention, particularly in older adults. Its dual role in supporting both energy metabolism and acetylcholine synthesis makes it a versatile nootropic. Peptide nootropics represent a cutting-edge area of research. CMAX, developed in Russia, has shown impressive results for enhancing learning and memory by increasing brain-derived neurotrophic factor levels. Similarly, Nupept, while often grouped with racetems, is technically a peptide derivative that demonstrates potent neuroprotective and cognitive enhancing properties at very low doses. N-acetylcysteine, NAC, serves as a precursor to glutathione, the body's master antioxidant, while also regulating glutamate levels in the brain. Research in biological psychiatry has shown NAC's potential for improving cognitive function in various neuropsychiatric conditions, suggesting benefits for healthy individuals as well. When using amino acid nootropics, timing can be crucial. For instance, L-tyrosine is often most effective when taken on an empty stomach to avoid competition with other amino acids for absorption and transport across the blood-brain barrier. Similarly, the effects of L-theanine are most noticeable when paired with caffeine in a 2-to-1 ratio, theanine to caffeine. Vitamins, minerals, and essential nutrients. While often overlooked in discussions of cognitive enhancement, vitamins, minerals, and other essential nutrients form the foundation of brain health and optimal cognitive function. Deficiencies in these basic nutrients can significantly impair cognitive performance, while optimal levels may enhance various aspects of mental processing. B vitamins. The B complex vitamins, particularly B6, B9, folate, and B12, are essential for neurotransmitter synthesis and the regulation of homocysteine levels. Research in the International Journal of Geriatric Psychiatry, 2012, demonstrated that B vitamin supplementation slowed cognitive decline and reduced brain atrophy in older adults with elevated homocysteine levels. Magnesium, particularly in the form of magnesium L-threonate, which crosses the blood-brain barrier effectively. Studies in Neuron, 2010, showed enhanced learning abilities, working memory, and short and long-term memory in animal models. Human studies suggest improvements in cognitive processing speed and reduced cognitive impairment. Omega-3 fatty acids, DHA and EPA, are crucial structural components of neuronal membranes. A meta-analysis in PLOS 1, 2012, found that omega 3 supplementation improved cognitive function in adults with mild memory complaints. The recommended ratio of EPA to DHA varies depending on whether cognitive or mood effects are the primary goal. Vitamin D. Beyond its role in calcium metabolism, vitamin D functions as a neurosteroid that influences brain development and function. Research in JAMA Neurology 2015 linked vitamin D deficiency to accelerated cognitive decline. Supplementation may be particularly important for those with limited sun exposure. Zinc plays a crucial role in synaptic plasticity and learning, with research and nutrition reviews highlighting its importance for cognitive development and function. Iron is essential for oxygen transport and energy production in the brain, with even mild deficiency impairing cognitive performance and attention span, according to studies in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. Choline, discussed in a previous section as a precursor to acetylcholine, is also considered an essential nutrient with an established, adequate intake level. Similarly, the amino acid L-tryptophan serves as a precursor to serotonin and can influence mood, cognition, and sleep quality when supplemented. The most effective nootropic intervention for many individuals may simply be correcting subclinical nutrient deficiencies that are impairing their baseline cognitive function. American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, 2016. When approaching cognitive enhancement, establishing this nutritional foundation should be the first step before exploring more targeted nootropic compounds. A comprehensive blood panel can identify specific deficiencies to address, potentially yielding significant cognitive improvements with basic nutritional interventions. For optimal cognitive benefits, consider a high quality multivitamin or mineral supplement that includes activated B vitamins, methylfolate instead of folic acid, methylcobalamin instead of cyanocobalamin, chelated minerals for better absorption, and additional targeted nutrients based on individual needs identified through testing. Adaptogens and stress reducing nootropics. Chronic stress significantly impairs cognitive function through various mechanisms, including elevated cortisol levels, reduced neuroplasticity, and impaired prefrontal cortex function. Adaptogenic herbs and stress reducing compounds form an important category of nootropics that enhance cognitive performance by optimizing the body's response to stress. Ashwagandha, Withania somnifera. A cornerstone of Ayurvedic medicine, ashwagandha has been shown to reduce cortisol levels and anxiety while improving cognitive function under stress. A randomized controlled trial published in the Journal of Dietary Supplements, 2014, demonstrated significant reductions in stress levels and improvements in cognitive tasks following 8 weeks of supplementation with 300 milligrams of high concentration ashwagandha root extract twice daily. Rhodiola rosea. Research in Phytomedicine 2000 demonstrated that rhodiola significantly reduced mental fatigue and improved performance on cognitive tasks during prolonged stressful situations. It appears to modulate stress hormones while supporting neurotransmitter balance. Effective dosage typically ranges from 200 to 600 milligrams daily of an extract standardized to contain 3% rosavins and 1% saladroside. L-theanine. Beyond its direct cognitive effects, L-theanine promotes alpha brainwave activity associated with relaxed alertness. Studies in the Journal of Functional Foods have shown that it reduces physiological stress responses without causing sedation. This makes it particularly valuable for maintaining cognitive performance during high pressure situations. Typical effective dosage is 100 to 200 milligrams, often paired with caffeine. Other notable adaptogens include holy basil, Ocimum sanctum, which has been shown to improve cognitive function while reducing stress markers, Bacopa monnieri, which demonstrates both adaptogenic and direct cognitive enhancing properties, and Schisandra chinensis, which supports adrenal function while protecting against stress-induced cognitive decline. The mechanisms through which adaptogens work are complex and multifaceted. Many appear to modulate the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, helping to normalize cortisol levels and improve stress resilience. Others influence neurotransmitter systems or provide neuroprotection against the damaging effects of chronic stress on brain structures. Research published in Pharmaceuticals, 2010, suggests that adaptogens work in part by inducing mild stress responses that prepare cells to respond more effectively to subsequent stressors, a phenomenon known as hormesis. This preconditioning effect may explain why adaptogens often become more effective with consistent use over time. When implementing adaptogenic nootropics, consistency is key. Unlike stimulants that produce immediate effects, adaptogens typically require regular use over weeks or months to fully manifest their benefits. They're best viewed as tools for building stress resilience and optimizing baseline cognitive function rather than acute performance enhancers. Stacking strategies and synergistic combinations. The practice of combining multiple nootropic compounds to achieve enhanced or complementary effects, known as stacking, represents one of the most sophisticated approaches to cognitive enhancement. Effective stacks leverage the synergistic interactions between different compounds while mitigating potential side effects. Foundation stack. Start with essential nutrients that support overall brain health. A high quality multivitamin, omega 3 fatty acids, 1 to 2 grams daily, and a bioavailable choline source like alpha GPC, 300 milligrams, or CDP choline, 250 milligrams. This foundation addresses potential nutritional gaps that could limit cognitive performance. Focus and attention stack. Build on the foundation by adding compounds that enhance attention. L-theanine, 200 milligrams, paired with caffeine, 100 milligrams, provides smooth focus without jitters. For additional support, consider Bacopa monnieri, 300 milligrams standardized extract for long-term benefits, and L-tyrosine, 500 to 1,000 milligrams for stress resilience. Memory enhancement stack. For memory-specific benefits, add a racetome like piracetam, 800 milligrams, 2 to 3 times daily, or eniracetam, 750 milligrams, 1 to 2 times daily, always paired with additional choline. Lion's mane mushroom extract, 500 to 1,000 milligrams, provides complementary support for nerve growth factor production. Research on nootropic combinations is limited compared to studies on individual compounds, but some synergistic effects are well documented. For example, a study in psychopharmacology demonstrated that the combination of caffeine and L-theanine improved both speed and accuracy on attention switching tasks significantly more than either compound alone. Similarly, research published in the Journal of Neural Transmission showed that combining piracetam with choline produced greater improvements in memory than would be expected from the sum of their individual effects, a true synergistic interaction. This has led to the common practice of always pairing racetams with choline sources. When designing a nootropic stack, consider both the mechanisms of action and the timing of effects. Some compounds like racetams and cholinergics work well taken together due to their complementary mechanisms. Others, like stimulants and sleep-promoting compounds, should be separated based on their opposing effects and the desired timing of benefits. Start with minimal effective doses when combining multiple nootropics and add new compounds one at a time to assess individual responses. This methodical approach allows you to identify which components are providing benefits and which may be causing side effects. Keep detailed records of your experiences, including effects on various cognitive domains, mood, energy levels, and any adverse reactions. Finally, cycle your nootropic use when appropriate to prevent tolerance and maintain effectiveness. Different compounds require different cycling protocols. Adaptogens may be taken continuously, while more potent synthetic nootropics often benefit from periodic breaks to maintain sensitivity. Safety considerations and potential side effects. While many nootropics have favorable safety profiles, particularly natural compounds and essential nutrients, responsible use requires awareness of potential risks, side effects, and contraindications. The pursuit of cognitive enhancement should never come at the expense of overall health and well-being. Common side effects. Even well-tolerated nootropics can cause adverse reactions in some individuals. Headaches are particularly common with racetams when taken without sufficient choline. Gastrointestinal discomfort may occur with many supplements, particularly on an empty stomach. Sleep disturbances can result from stimulating compounds taken too late in the day. Anxiety or irritability may emerge with certain dopaminergic or stimulating nootropics. Drug interactions. Nootropics can interact with prescription medications, sometimes dangerously. MAO inhibitors can interact with tyrosine or tryptophan supplements. Blood thinners may interact with ginkgo biloba or high dose fish oil. Stimulant medications may have additive effects with caffeine or other stimulating nootropics. Always consult a healthcare provider before combining nootropics with prescription medications. Quality and purity concerns. The supplement industry is less regulated than pharmaceuticals, leading to potential issues with product quality. Independent testing by Consumer Lab found that 27% of tested cognitive enhancement supplements did not contain the labeled amounts of ingredients or were contaminated with heavy metals. Purchase from reputable manufacturers that provide third party testing results. Special populations at higher risk. Certain groups should exercise particular caution with nootropics. Pregnant or breastfeeding women should avoid most nootropics due to limited safety data. Individuals with psychiatric conditions may experience exacerbation of symptoms with certain compounds. Those with cardiovascular conditions should avoid stimulating nootropics. People with epilepsy should be cautious with compounds that affect neurotransmitter systems. Long-term safety is another important consideration. While some nootropics like Bacopa monnieri and omega-3 fatty acids have extensive safety data for prolonged use, many newer synthetic compounds lack long-term studies. The principle of cycling, taking periodic breaks, not only helps maintain effectiveness but also reduces potential risks associated with continuous use. Research published in the Journal of Neural Transmission suggests that some nootropics may cause neurotransmitter imbalances with prolonged use, potentially leading to dependence or rebound effects upon discontinuation. This is particularly relevant for compounds that directly increase neurotransmitter levels rather than supporting the body's natural regulatory mechanisms. The concept of hormesis, where substances beneficial at low doses become harmful at high doses, applies to many nootropics. For example, while moderate caffeine consumption enhances cognition, excessive intake leads to anxiety, insomnia, and reduced performance. Always start with the lowest effective dose and resist the temptation to exceed recommended amounts in pursuit of stronger effects. Finally, maintain perspective on the role of nootropics within a comprehensive approach to cognitive optimization. No supplement can compensate for poor sleep, chronic stress, inadequate nutrition, or lack of physical exercise. Nootropics are most effective when used as part of a holistic strategy that addresses all aspects of brain health and cognitive function. Implementation Guide: Building your personal nootropic protocol. Developing an effective nootropic regimen requires a personalized approach based on your specific cognitive goals, baseline health status, and individual response to different compounds. This systematic implementation guide will help you navigate the complex landscape of cognitive enhancement to create a protocol that works optimally for your unique needs. Establish clear objectives. Define specific cognitive domains you wish to enhance: memory, focus, processing speed, creativity, stress resilience, or long-term brain health. Different nootropics target different aspects of cognition, so clarity about your goals will guide appropriate selection. For example, racetams may better serve memory enhancement, while adaptogens might be more suitable for stress-related cognitive issues. Address foundational factors. Before adding specialized nootropics, optimize sleep quality, nutrition, exercise, and stress management. Consider testing for nutrient deficiencies that could be limiting cognitive performance. Research in neuroscience and biobehavioral reviews demonstrates that correcting deficiencies in vitamin D, B vitamins, magnesium, and omega-3s can yield substantial cognitive improvements before adding other compounds. Start with single compounds. Introduce one nootropic at a time, beginning with the lowest effective dose. Maintain this single compound for at least 1 week, longer for compounds with cumulative effects like Bacopa, before assessing results. Keep a detailed journal tracking effects on target cognitive domains, mood, energy, sleep quality, and any side effects. This methodical approach allows clear attribution of benefits and side effects to specific compounds. Build strategic stacks. Once you've identified individual compounds that work well for you, begin carefully combining them into synergistic stacks. Start with proven combinations like racetym plus choline or caffeine plus L-theanine. Continue to document effects, watching for both enhanced benefits and potential interactions. Adjust dosages and timing to optimize results while minimizing side effects. Implement cycling protocols. Develop appropriate cycling schedules to prevent tolerance and maintain effectiveness. Different compounds require different approaches. Adaptogens may be taken continuously, while racetyms might benefit from a 5 days on, 2 days off schedule. More potent compounds may require longer breaks, such as 4 weeks on, 1 week off. Monitor long-term effectiveness and adjust cycles as needed. Timing your nootropic intake can significantly impact effectiveness. For example, fat-soluble compounds like aniracetam are better absorbed when taken with meals containing healthy fats. Stimulating nootropics should be taken earlier in the day to avoid sleep disruption, while sleep-enhancing compounds like ashwagandha may be more appropriate in the evening. Consider context-specific protocols for different cognitive demands. You might develop one stack for intense focus during work projects, another for creative thinking sessions, and a third for learning and memory consolidation during study periods. This targeted approach maximizes benefits while allowing for cycling of different compounds. The most effective nootropic protocol is not necessarily the most complex one, but rather the one that is most precisely tailored to your individual neurochemistry, lifestyle factors, and specific cognitive goals. Journal of Cognitive Enhancement, 2019. Finally, maintain a long-term perspective on cognitive enhancement. The most sustainable approach focuses on compounds that support brain health and neuroplasticity rather than those that temporarily boost performance at the expense of long-term function. Regular reassessment of your protocol is essential. What works optimally may change as your age, health status, and cognitive demands evolve over time. By following this systematic implementation guide, you can develop a personalized nootropic protocol that effectively enhances your cognitive performance while minimizing risks and supporting long-term brain health. Remember that cognitive enhancement is a journey of continuous refinement rather than a destination reached through a single perfect formula. Thank you for listening to the Peak Performance Podcast. Please like and subscribe.